When I say I don't want to fight Mexican, it's because I represent Mexico.
I feel like Canelo's a fucking pussy.
Canelo doesn't jab anymore. He looks for one shot now. The end is there for Canelo.
David Benavidez, the undefeated Mexican monster, is leaving no doubt about his intentions. After watching Canelo Alvarez fall to Terence Crawford, Benavidez has been vocal, direct, and unforgiving.
Maybe the most feared fighter in boxing. Ever see Julio Cesar Chavez in his prime? I'm talking about the daddy. I'm talking about one of the greatest fighters ever. This guy is the closest thing I have seen to a big Julio Cesar Chavez. David, I'm not putting the Chavez thing on you. I'm just saying, you're the closest thing I've seen to a big dude who fights like that. Oh, Canelo's ducking him. This dude's a monster. And I looked and I thought, am I right or wrong about that?
No, you're definitely right. You're looking at a man that's not going to let anything outside the ring, mess with his game. But like I said, at the end of the day, I'm not scared of nothing. I accept and I invite war. So if that's what the people of Riyadh, Saudi Arabia want to see, well, let's give it to them. I think everybody is starting to see that I'm fearless, I'm relentless, and I'll fight anybody to get my respect in the ring.
Flat out accusing Canelo of being scared. For years, Benavidez has been the ghost haunting Canelo's legacy, a challenge he's consistently sidestepped. Now, with Canelo looking vulnerable after Crawford's dominant performance, moving up 2 weight classes and dismantling the Mexican superstar, Benavidez...
Spinning back on Canelo, and he was talking about how he didn't want to give David Benavidez the fight because he was being disrespectful.
When you look at the history of Canelo, all the fighters that was disrespectful, calling them out, and he fought all of them. But I just think from a Mexican standpoint, one being extra disrespectful towards the other, he took the sport out of it, and he just felt as if he wasn't going to give Benavidez the payday that he wanted.
Is ready to settle the score and take his throne. Even respected voices like Ronnie Shields have hinted that Canelo's best days may be behind him, and Oscar De La Hoya has broken down exactly where...
I predicted Crawford by unanimous decision. He got that. I just thought Crawford was too fast for Canelo. Too many combinations. Canelo doesn't jab anymore. He looked for one shot now. The end is there for Canelo.
Things went wrong. In an exclusive Inside the Ring interview, Benavidez congratulated Crawford, calling his rise through 3 weight classes historic and even suggesting he deserves a place on boxing's Mount Rushmore, praising his heart, grit, and championship mentality. But long before Crawford...
First of all, I just want to give Terence Crawford a great congratulations. He's reached a part in history that only so many fighters get to even accomplish in boxing. He's one of the greatest of all time. There's nothing, you can't take that away from him. Terence Crawford should be on the Mount Rushmore in boxing because not only did he go up 3 weight classes, he beat one of the best fighters of his generation. I don't remember any time in history where anybody has come up from 147 pounds and won the super middleweight championship. Not only just won, but the undisputed. He's won every single title. So, that man, not only is he a great fighter, but you could tell in that fight by seeing this combination right now how much of a dog he is. And I think a lot of fighters could take a lot of notes from Terence Crawford, not only physically, but as take notes in the heart aspect. And I give it all up to Terence Crawford. He's one of the greatest of all time. And, we salute Terence Crawford.
Crawford shocked the world. Benavidez had been calling out Canelo. Standing as a 2-time WBC champion with a fearsome record, 30 wins, 0 losses, 25 knockouts, and holding the interim title that...
I got 3 WBC belts right here. I'm the best in the division. If they want to give me an opportunity now or later, I'm gonna keep winning. Like I said, I'm gonna be the greatest of my generation by the time I'm done, and my job is not complete until I make that happen. For Canelo and everybody else, to just show everybody I'm not f***ing around. I'm here to stay. I just look at the facts. The people want to see this fight more than Carlos Adames and Charlo. That's why that fight hasn't happened. But for me and Canelo, we got motion. I've been winning the fights I'm supposed to win in fantastic fashion. He has nobody else to fight. So if they want to give it to me now, later, whenever, I'm not going nowhere.
Directly challenged Canelo's undisputed reign. This wasn't just talk. Reports revealed a $70 million offer was sent to Canelo, with Benavidez agreeing to a flat $5 million just to make the fight happen. But after he accepted, silence followed. No calls, no negotiations, just a deadline. And this silence came after Benavidez had already proved himself by
I don't really like to bash somebody because at the end of the day, I give respect to Canelo. He's a great fighter.
Yeah.
He's one of the best Mexican fighters of all time.
But wanting to fight him, David, is not bashing him.
Yeah.
That's not bashing him.
But that's what I'm saying. They spin the narrative on Instagram.
Right.
If I say something, they say this or that. But I only want what I earned.
Right.
And I'm entitled to it. From what the WBC told me, they say you win the title limiter, we'll give you a title shot. You win the WBC interim title, we'll give you a title shot. I've been in this position for 3 years. So just because Canelo, he could do what he wants, as he says,
right.
He's not gonna fight the top competition. And he's holding all those belts hostage, bro. And it's not like you got other great fighters too. You got me, and David Morrell's there.
Yeah.
How is it fair that these sanctioning bodies let him pick and choose who he wants to fight? And then the Canelo fans too that be talking shit, bro. Like, do you guys not want to see the best fights?
Right.
Like, I don't understand. I'm just trying to make the best fights happen. And that's it. At the end of the day, I just want to give the fans what they want to see.
Yeah.
dominating Caleb Plant in a grudge match and dismantling the undefeated Demetrius Andrade. Benavidez reflected, saying his dream since age 3 has been to become the greatest boxer of all time. And he's chasing every big name in the sport.
I'm not scared of nobody. I've heard everybody that's been in front of me, and Canelo's no different. And I will hurt him too, and I'll take all his belts. It's crazy that he asked for 150 million or 200 million to fight me, but he still has the nerve to say that I don't bring nothing to the table. So if I didn't bring nothing to the table, why are you asking for more money than you won in your whole career if I don't mean anything? Maybe after he gets that money, he could buy himself a pair of balls. What I wanted to tell you guys too, I mean, this guy, he's making the most money out of everybody. He's charging you guys so much for the pay-per-views. It's like he's spitting in your guys' face, saying that he doesn't give a f what you guys want. He's not going to give you the best fights. He's going to fight the fights that he wants. In my opinion, that's a little bit disrespectful to the fans, but he has cult-like fans that, you know, they don't tell him shit and they're happy with whatever he does. But at the end of the day, if you hold all the titles, you got to fight the best in the division. I'm number 1 in the division, number 1 contender. The second one is David Morrell. He's not fighting me, nor he's not fighting David Morrell. So it makes no sense. How is he going to call himself the champion and have all these belts if he doesn't fight the number 1 or the number 2 guys? He's asking $200 million. Why, when they bring my name up with him, that's the most money he's going to make. When he fought Amir Khan, he outweighed him by like 25 pounds. But, you know, I think it's just he's running out of excuses and running out of things to say, but that's just how it is. I guess that's when you're the cash cow, you can do whatever you want.
These guys are monsters. But this is the monster's world. The silence from Canelo only fueled his fire. In the same interview, Benavidez didn't hold back.
You've been in a ring with both guys, Canelo, Benavidez. If they fought, which I don't think they're gonna fight no time soon, who you think will win?
Man, that's hard to say. I think both have pros and cons. You know, I feel like the things that Canelo does better than David. There's things that David does better than Canelo. In a way, I'm not comparing it to this fight, but it's like the better be of Bivol fight. You can say who you think is going to win. You can't say like, oh man, I'm surprised that Bivol won, or I'm surprised that Benavidez won. You're like, man, that's a damn good fight. So-and-so won. So kind of how I feel about the David and Canelo fight, like who had the best camp, who has the best game plan, who slept the best the night before.
And it's not much that separates guys at that level.
If David can get on him with his combinations and not give him room to breathe, then, you know, that's probably a night that David gets his hand raised. You know, if Canelo is able to slow the pace down a little bit and catch him with a big shot, David's been dropped before from an off-balance shot. He wasn't really hurt, but, you know, would you be surprised if Canelo stopped him? You know, no. So it's hard to say, but I get asked that a lot.
He's definitely scared of me, he said, questioning why Canelo wouldn't take the fight, beat him, and make easy money. He pointed to Canelo's struggles with powerful, larger fighters like Bivol, insisting Canelo sees in him speed, power, and a heart that can't be broken. It doesn't scare me to get in there with another.
If Canelo was 100% confident in himself, I don't know why he wouldn't fight me. Especially since, you know, seeing that everybody in his team is on steroids, which including him, so he never got off.
You think he's on steroids?
Of course. Of course.
Sure.
How does five people out of your camp get tested positive for steroids?
Right.
You know what I mean? No, all those fucking dudes in that camp are dirty.
Call for David Benavidez once this fight is done. Is that a fight that you can see happening before the end of your career?
Look, I never say no to anything. We'll see later. But I'm focused 100% on this fight.
Is there a possibility, or you just go one at a time and you also speak with your team?
Yeah, I go one at a time, but you know, it's a possibility. Always.
Right.
But I've been in this position my whole life. One was that was in Toronto in 2012, 11. Then Mayweather, then Lara, then Cotto, then Callum Smith, then Golovkin, and then if I beat Benavidez, it's gonna be other guy there. They want me to fight. Right. I've been in this position my whole life, but you know, is that time when that fight they ask, I give it to them. But right now in this position I am, now is the time I need to ask. If the money is right, I mean.
So the way I've seen him handle my presence is he's definitely scared of me. You know, if you have a fighter talking so much trash in front of you, why don't you make an example of him to the world? Beat me in the ring and make a whole lot of money. But Canelo Alvarez, as you can see from every time he fights a guy that's big with power, like Bivol, you know what I mean? And he's not able to suppress these fighters as much as he's able to suppress the little fighters. You know what I mean? So he sees a lot of things in me that he can't stop. You know, not only does he see speed, does he see power, but he sees a lot of heart in me. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm going in there and I want to prove myself to the world that I'm the greatest fighter. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't scare me to get in there with another great fighter, because I know that elevates me and who I am as a competitor. At the end of the day, he should have took the fight with me way back then, because if he had a chance to beat me, it would have been back then. He has no chance of beating me now, especially now. I'm getting all this confidence. You know, I'm stepping into my prime. You know, I'm able to deal with these bigger shows better. You know what I mean? I'm able to thrive in these shows. I'm able to, every time I fight, I'm always winning by a significant amount. You know what I mean? So I'm learning my craft better and better each and every single fight. I'm gaining more confidence every single fight. And like I said, I really want to go in there and hurt people. I'm not a boxer. I'm a warrior, and I go in there, I tear everybody up. To be honest with you, man, let Terence Crawford live. That's his weight class. I lost interest in 168 a long time ago. You know, I mean, I know that we could get offered a lot of money to go down to 168, but I'm more comfortable at 175. I'm chasing better beef. I'm chasing Bivol. You know, I'm chasing these other bigger. I'm chasing Surdo Ramirez at cruiserweight. You know what I mean? So I've been at 168, but I have no interest in going down.
Hey, Caleb, if Canelo doesn't choose to fight Benavidez throughout his career, do you think that tarnishes his legacy just a little bit?
I don't know. I can't say he's had a great fight, a great career. You know, he's had a lot of big fights. You know, he's still a Hall of Famer. So
I think that he's a very accomplished fighter already as it is. He's fought Triple G. He fought Kovalev. You know, he's a boogeyman. I mean, a lot of people didn't want to fight him. Bivol, you know, another tough fighter. Cotto. So he's taking up a lot of fighters. You know, I don't think they'll see it that way. I mean, although I would say that a lot of us boxing fans want to see the fight. If he doesn't take it, it's not gonna affect his legacy. But I mean, it would just leave us with the question of what would have happened.